Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to Live from the Wrist. Hope you all are doing well today. We're going to be looking at another vintage watch. We're going to be looking at a really beautiful Tudor Prince Oysterdate 34mm with a beautiful white waffle dial, which is super desirable. I really love this watch. I've worn it for a couple of days now, and I found that the size of it fits my wrist really nicely, and I also really love the waffle dial. I recently got in a LPX from MBNF and Loop Systems, and I was able to take a look at this watch under Loop, and the waffle dial is just so incredible to look at, to be able to see that the texture that is created on this dial. As always, I'll flip perspectives and give you a brief history about this watch. I'll give you some specs about it and allow you to see it in the metal, which I think is really why you're probably here, to see this watch tick. Again, I really do think it's a really phenomenal example, so I'm really excited to jump into it with you. So without further ado, let me flip perspectives so you can take a look at this Tudor. Alright, so today we're going to be looking at a Tudor Prince Oysterdate from 1957. This is a really nice Tudor Prince, sorry, I said Tudor Prince Oysterdate. This is a Tudor Prince Oysterdate 34, which if you take a look at the dial of this watch, and maybe I'll move the hand so it's a little bit easier for you to see. Again, working on my camera work here. I'll move the hand so you can see it, but dates to 1957 and is a really beautiful example of, one, the oyster case that Tudor started using in 1950s, and then also the waffle dials, and also sort of like the vast range of variations you can get in really beautiful Tudor watches. So if you don't know, Tudor is obviously a sister brand to Rolex, and they produced many watches throughout their history. Tudor was able to use a lot of the discoveries that Rolex had, and one of them being sort of the oyster case, which is what you see on this watch here. This watch is a stainless steel 34mm Tudor with a white dial, but what's really cool about the dial is that it actually has a waffle dial, which is essentially a little bit of texture that you can see. I'll zoom in here so you can take a look at it. You basically see a little bit of texture on the dial, which I think is something that a lot of collectors find very interesting in watches, because it is another way that maybe a dial can be represented. It also allows you to have something maybe just a little bit more interesting on your wrist. Again, apologize for the camera work, just working on it here. So the watch dates 1957, and like I said, stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet. If you look at the clasp, which I'll show you in a second, it's signed by Rolex. The creamy waffle dial is a very desirable dial when it comes to collectors. It has applied hour markers and a date wheel. You might have seen it before, but the date wheel is actually a roulette date wheel with red and black alternating text. It has a Cyclops at 3 o'clock that allows you that basically magnifies the date. I believe the crystal is a replacement on this watch. This watch is running on the caliber 390 movement, which works perfectly and running really great. Sort of a hallmark of this line of watches. What you're probably thinking, if you know a little bit about watches, is this looks exactly like some of the Datejust that you're able to purchase from companies like Rolex, or from Rolex, and I think that's what Tudor actually presents really nicely, is kind of an alternative if you are maybe looking for something on a different budget, or perhaps something that isn't just the run-of-the-mill Datejust that many collectors do have. So if you take a look here, I'll get the focus. Something that is quite significant with this watch is the fact that it has what is known by collectors as the little rose. If you look above the Tudor signature there, you see the Tudor emblem, which is the rose, and this has a little one. There are other oyster dates that come with a large rose on the dial. just a little bit about, I wanted to go over just a little bit about sort of the history of the oyster case, because I do think it's a significant portion of a significant thing when it comes to Tudor. The oyster case was first appeared in 1946 with manual wind movements. Many of them were housed in 34mm cased watches, very similar to the one that you see on my wrist right here. As you can tell, it looks really nice. The size of the watches are really great and are pretty wearable if you maybe have a small wrist, but also can be a nice size. I apologize here for the clarity. There you go. Can be a nice size if you're looking for anything that fits really nicely. In 1942, Tudor released the Oyster Prince. The Prince signified the presence of an automatic movement in Tudor's equivalent of the Rolex Perpetual. So this is a Tudor Prince Oysterdate 34, which means it has a automatic movement in it, which is the caliber 390. They were the automatic movements are mostly Rolex movements that were modified by Tudor, and were super robust, basically bulletproof, and could be worn pretty confidently by the wearer. There are many different versions of these Oyster Princes that are out there. Some of them have dates, some of them do not. I think that the ones without the date are actually quite desirable when it comes to the collectors community. But I do think, if I can get this to focus here, the dates actually I think are a nice version of these specific pieces. Obviously the Jubilee bracelet looks really nice, Rolex signed clasp, and if you look at the crown, it is also signed by Rolex. So, what are my overall opinions about this watch? It's a stainless steel, beautiful watch. 34mm, can be worn as a dress watch, can be worn as an everyday sort of sports watch. The movement is going to hold up really nicely. Oyster cases obviously are named after the oyster shellfish to be waterproof. As long as you've had it serviced, I feel pretty confident about it. I probably wouldn't go to the depths of a pool in this, but that's just because, you know, for something from 1957 I want to preserve and keep nice, but that's just sort of how I would wear it. A really nice example of the Tudor Prince Oysterdate 34s, and I hope you enjoyed taking a look at it. With this said, guys, let me flip perspectives so we can close out this video. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this Tudor Prince Oysterdate 34mm and learning a little bit about the history of the oyster case, the Tudor Princes, and being able to see the beautiful waffle dial that this watch actually has. If you want to see some more pictures of this watch, you can check out our Instagram because we are posting it pretty heavily on it. I think it fits my wrist really beautifully, size-wise. 34mm is a nice size for me, but I do think that this can fit on someone's wrist who has something maybe a larger wrist than I do, which isn't difficult to do. I love the roulette wheel date. A lot of the characteristics of this watch I just really enjoy. If you want to see our article about this watch, you can head over to lifeonthewrist.com and check out the editorial section of our website. That's where we're going to have an article about this watch and its history. As I mentioned, you can check out our social medias if you want to see more pictures of this watch. It really is a beautiful piece, and I want to be able to share it with you, and so that you can enjoy some of the beauty that does come from this specific watch. If you are new to Life on the Wrist, be sure to subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend. Share this channel with a friend who might be interested in watches. I'd love to have you both part of the Life on the Wrist family. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this Tudor Prince Oysterdate. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button for me, it really does help me out. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.